Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joseph Allen, and over the last couple of years, I've spent my time reviewing dozens of sweepstakes casinos. As a frequent contributor to Slots Fan, I've learned what makes a casino worth using and what might make you want to think twice about using them in the first place. I prioritize transparency and authenticity, which means you'll never see me promote a casino that I wouldn't be happy to use in my free time. Now today, I'm going to be going over Scrooge Casino, and I'm going to head over to slotsfan.com first and foremost. Now that I'm here at slotsfan.com, I'm going to enter Scrooge Casino into the search bar, and I'm going to click the review that pops up here. Now, before I dive into the actual review content, I just want to talk a little bit about what makes this casino special. So, Scrooge Casino is heavily inspired by the cartoon character Ebenezer Scrooge. They opened in late 2023, and while they were initially a crypto-friendly sweepstakes casino, going so far as to launch their own coin, called Scrooge Coin, by the way, they've recently had to roll back their crypto compatibility due to sweepstakes regulations, and now they primarily use fiat currencies such as Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, Diners Club International, and JCB for payments and redemptions. Another added benefit is that you can use PayPal for redemptions, which I don't often see when I'm reviewing sweepstakes sites, and I also think that Scrooge Casino is pretty great because they have 600 or 700 games on tap, mostly slots, but a lot of these slots are not found elsewhere. They're also one of the few casinos to have penny slots. Now, while you can't spend real money on the outcome of the game at a sweepstakes casino like Scrooge, what you can do is spend as little as one sweeps token per spin on select games. Now, one sweeps token has the same gameplay and redemption value as a single penny at competing sites, which essentially gives low-stakes players a great way to have fun without breaking the bank. Now, I'm going to go back to the review, and the first thing I'm going to do is click Claim Bonus. This is going to take me through a quick check, and it should log me right into my account where I'll be presented with that pop-up. These pop-ups are pretty easy to get rid of. All you have to do is click Don't Show This Again at the bottom of the screen, and you can get rid of them pretty much forever. So while I'm not really a huge fan of the in-your-face advertisements, I do appreciate that Scrooge actually gives you a way to get rid of them. So the interface is pretty easy to use. These promotional banners right here take up most of the space at the top of the page. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see some of your recently played games. I was having fun with Cat Diana earlier, and I will be testing some of the games here in just a moment. But first, I want to take you through a brief overview of the site. So as you continue scrolling down, you'll see a list of their most popular games. I do like how they kind of move on their own. That way I don't have to click the arrows, but if I want to, I can speed up the pace by navigating with these left and right arrows. And of course, if I want to see them all, I can just click View All. Now, if I want to get back to the home screen, I can click this brand logo right up here, and it'll take me right back to where I was. Now, this is a great opportunity for me to demonstrate how their pop-ups work. So I'm going to click Don't Show Me This Again, and I shouldn't see it again, hopefully. Getting back to where I was, you'll be able to see their newest releases and a list of all their slots. I do like how they have included a section for live dealer games and also pop culture inspired games such as Snoop Dogg Dollars, Ace Ventura Pet Detective, that does look like Jim Carrey right there, and Charlie's Angels and even Rambo. So you do have a lot of pop culture themed games here, which are not very common to find at other sites. So as you can see, I went right back to the home page and I didn't get the same pop-up after clicking Don't Show Me This Again, just to prove that their advertisements aren't totally obstructive and in your face. As you continue scrolling down the page, you'll be able to see some of their first-person table games, and while these aren't live dealer options, they do rely on a random number generator to dictate the outcome. The graphics are pretty great. If I have some time, I'll get into these, but I am primarily going to be focusing on slots today. As you continue scrolling down, you'll see bingo, land-based games that are inspired by real money selections. Wolf Peak bears some similarities to Wolf Gold. Dragons vs. Pandas bears some similarities to Dragon Link. Lucky Buddha bears some similarities to Dancing Drums, in my opinion. As you continue scrolling, you'll see jackpots, megaways, hold and win titles, scratchers, and casual instant win games, in addition to fish games, and finally classic slots and the penny machines I referenced a little bit earlier. Now, like I said, there really is something here for everyone, and they do have about 700 different games, which I love, and they're all from reputable software providers, which is even better. Now, I'm going to scroll all the way back up to the screen and dive into their purchase options. While I do have 536 sweeps tokens, that won't last me too long as it only has the same gameplay and redemption value as 5.3 sweeps coins at competing sites. With that being said, I'm going to click the plus button right here. And I don't have a promo code, but I am going to take advantage of their first purchase discount. I don't necessarily want to claim these free spins, but I am going to go with the most cost-effective option, which gets you 1,500,000 gold coins and 2,500 free sweeps tokens for $9.99. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't jump to make a purchase so quick, but Scrooge Casino's daily bonus isn't that great unless you're already a VIP player. Now, just to demonstrate, I'm going to click Daily Rewards right up here. And I already claimed my daily reward for today, but you're only given about 10 sweeps tokens every 24 hours. Now, while this might sound like a lot, keep in mind that 10 sweeps tokens has the same gameplay and redemption value as 0.1 sweeps coins at competing sites, which really won't get you too far, unless you decide to play their penny slots, in which case you'll get about 10 spins out of it. That being said, I'm going to go back to the purchase menu and I'm going to click Buy Now underneath this first purchase offer. Now, before every purchase, you are prompted to enter your name, confirm your country, confirm your zip code, and enter your street address as well as your phone number. I'm guessing that this is done for regulatory reasons, but it is a little bit annoying to have to do it all the time. Again, if you have your details auto-filled, it'll probably go a little bit quicker. Now, I do have my details auto-filled, so I'm just going to click Submit, and I'm going to scroll down and just select my state. Now, this payment form will pop up. As I mentioned, at one time, Scrooge did accept crypto payments, but they've reverted back to fiat currencies exclusively. Now, I can use Visa, MasterCard, Amex, JCB, Diners Club International, or Discover, so that gives me a total of 6 payment methods. Unfortunately, I'm not able to use PayPal for purchases, but again, I can use them for redemptions, and hopefully I will win enough sweeps tokens to demonstrate how that works. So I do have my card details auto-filled as well. It's just going to ask me to confirm my security code. And now that I have these details filled out, I'm going to click Pay. This process should only take a couple of seconds. Oh, okay. And as you can see, my purchase request has been received. I'm getting this little check mark right here. I'm going to click OK. And as soon as the page refreshes, you'll see that I have the equivalent of about 30 free sweeps coins at the top of the page. Now, in order to change your balance between gold coins and sweeps tokens, you just have to click this little hat right here. But I'm going to get the ball rolling with these sweeps coins. So I'm going to click the Scrooge Casino brand logo. That's going to direct me back to the home page. And as you'll see, sweeps coins and sweeps tokens are not the same thing, but due to some software providers' limitations, some games will display SC in place of ST. While you're playing at Scrooge, they're one and the same. So don't get too tripped up over the specifics. I'm going to dive back into Cat Diana because it's a really fun game that kind of puts a humorous spin on the Indiana Jones saga by replacing the famed explorer with a cute kitten. Okay, so I can win up to 2,500 times my stake. There is a bonus feature, and just to get some action on the reels quickly, I'm probably going to purchase a feature using my sweeps tokens. I'm going to click this to start off. And as you can see, if I'm betting 10 sweeps tokens per spin, that is just 0.1 sweeps coins per spin. This goes down all the way to 1 sweeps token per spin, which again, as mentioned, is the equivalent of about 1 penny. So I'm just going to start off with a couple introductory spins and see what we get. Now, these jackpots up here, they're dependent on your bet size. So if you up the bet size, you'll notice that these jackpots also climb. Just for standard purposes, the mini is worth up to 30 times your stake, the major is worth 100 times your stake, and the mega is worth 1,000 times your stake. Now, I'm not sure how you can actually win up to 2,500 times your spin value, but I'm guessing that it will be a combination of the jackpot and a bonus feature, which I will be exploring shortly. Let's put it up to 10 sweeps tokens, since I have about 3,000. Oh, okay, and that's a pretty immediate win. Again, don't get too thrown off by these numbers, but that is the equivalent of 0.22 SC. Okay. Well, I seem to be hitting a little bit. I am disappointed that there's no real option to buy the feature, so you gotta get it fair and square. But look at... Oh, big win. All right, this is pretty sizable. Oh, yeah. All right, I won 20 times my bet, and I won 200 sweeps tokens from these 3 little orbs right here. So this seems to be hitting. I'm gonna keep it going. Wow, okay. I have to say this is the first time I've actually won this much on slots in a few months. Hoping for a bonus here. Oof. Now, I'm probably going to give this about 10 more spins, and then I will navigate to a game where I can actually show you guys the bonus action. Oh, that's 5 coins. I might be able to get... Oh. Look at that. We have a feature. I don't even have to change slots. All right, so now that I am in the free spins bonus round, it seems like the background's gotten a lot scarier. This cat right here is kind of throwing me off, but it seems like I have 3 free respins. So let's see what we got. Okay. All right. And we're back on the board. So every time I get a coin, it will respin and reset me back to 3, as you can see. And I'm assuming that if I fill up this entire grid, I will be able to get the mega jackpot. All right, last one, guys. No jackpot, but I did win. Let's see how many sweeps tokens. Okay. So that's the equivalent of about 6.5 free sweeps coins. And again, I'm only betting 0.1 SC equivalent. So that's about 65 times my bet, which is pretty awesome. Again, haven't won this much on slots in a very long time, even though the values are a little bit adjusted, obviously, to match the differences between sweeps tokens and sweeps coins. Now, let's go back to the home page, and I'm going to find a game where I will be able to purchase the feature. Now, Alien Fruits 15,000 is one of my favorite games. Whenever I see it at another casino that works with B Gaming, I gotta give it at least a couple spins. And while I've never actually won 15,000 times my stake, I do know for a fact that you can buy the feature. So let's see what we got. Now, I have a 10 ST bet size, and it seems like I can buy the bonus for 1,000 sweeps tokens. That's going to set me back about $10 in real world value, but let's see what happens. All right, and we're on the board with 10 free spins. So I'm going to click this to continue. And it seems like I've been teleported to the inside of the ship. Ooh. What I do love about this game is that one spin can lead to multiple re-triggers and combinations. As the symbols explode, the symbols up top fall into place, which leads to multiple potential re-triggers on the same spin. And it looks like I've added 5 free spins to my balance. So let's see where this takes us. Heading big win after big win here. Oh my. Seems like I've won 19 times my bet. Now, I will call this a win if I get at least a little bit more than I paid in, which again is not a guarantee, but usually that is the way the cookie crumbles, especially if you can land a decent multiplier on the reels here. Alright, so it looks like I did actually lose a little bit on this bonus, but I did get, I only spent 500 sweeps tokens, so I got back the equivalent of about 5 free sweeps coins. Again, if you want an easy conversion factor, just move this decimal point 2 places to the left, and you'll have yourself a good way to convert ST to SC. I do want to try one of their branded games, and the first one that popped out to me was Snoop Dogg Dollars. Now, this game isn't exclusive to Scrooge, but it is a pretty awesome game, and I'm glad to see it here. Sponsored by B Gaming, who has actually teamed up with Snoop Dogg to use their image and likeness in this game. And you can win up to 10,000 times your spin value. I'm going to buy the bonus just so we can get our action going quick.
Time to get our cash up.
All right, Snoop Dogg, you said it, not me. All right, and now we got ourselves 10 free spins on the reels. It does sound like a Snoop Dogg intro too. Wow. I'm always taken aback by the music.
Big win.
All right, let's see what we got. And we have 7 more free spins to go too. Seems like a much more generous bonus than the one I bought earlier. And he's pointing the money gun at me. All right. Now these multipliers here stick on the reels for the entirety of the free spins round, so hopefully that will translate into a larger win for me.
Go, get that done.
The infamous cannabis leaf. More big wins. Alright, this should be my last free spin. And again, this game has the same capability as Alien Fruits 15,000X, where one spin can lead to multiple re-triggers. It's hard to focus with that money gun. But as I was saying, as these symbols pop, new ones fall into their place.
Grab the money and let's go.
All right, so this time I came up on the bonus. I spent 1,000 sweeps tokens, and I ended those 10 free spins with 2,588.4 sweeps tokens, which again is equivalent to about 25 free SC or $25 in redemption value. So that's not a shoddy win by any means, especially considering that I was betting just 10 sweeps tokens when I bought this bonus. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm way up from where I started. So let's give this a couple of great spins. Definitely looking to give this a couple dollars worth of spins. Now I do want to see if I can run up a good chunk of change here, just because I do want to show you guys how the redemption process actually works. Now it seems like I'm not really hitting too many wins now that I have upped the spin size. So let's actually go back to 40 and see what happens. Seems like I'm actually hitting more on the lower spin size, which is surprising. All right. Now I will give this about 2 or 3 more spins and then I will move on. Wow. Okay. All right. That was a pretty decent spin, especially for just on these sweeps tokens. All right, this will be my last, and hopefully you get something. And you can see your wins actually stack up on the side here, which I love. just showing the potential of this game to hit multiple re-triggers at the same time. But I feel like Snoop Dogg has worn his welcome out, at least for me. So I'm gonna go back to the home page. Now, unfortunately, I really didn't win enough to request a redemption, um, as you have to win at least 5,000 sweeps tokens in order to redeem a crypto prize. Again, you can't pay with crypto, but you can redeem with crypto. At one time, they did accept crypto payments. And as mentioned, you can also redeem to PayPal, but you have to win at least 10,000 sweeps tokens, which is about the equivalent of $100 or 100 SC. And Visa Direct, you have the same minimum here. What I do love about Scrooge is that you don't need to buy anything in order to access live chat. They are around from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. EST 7 days a week, but they do respond after hours, and it really only takes them a couple of minutes most of the time. So I'm going to just type a question and say hello, and I will head back to that momentarily. Yes. So this is an automated message, obviously, but you will normally notice a response from a real person within like 5 to 10 minutes, even after hours. During the day, it's obviously a lot quicker. I've gotten replies as quickly as about 30 seconds. So they are very, very on the ball, especially when it comes to replying. So if things do end up going sideways, you always have that live chat option available to you. Now, I don't love how much time it takes necessarily for their email team to respond, but again, their live chat team is just as capable. So if you do have questions, I would highly, highly suggest using their live chat. I would like to see them add a phone line, but that doesn't seem to be in the cards for now. See, look at that. We actually have ourselves a response, and it only took 2 minutes. So I'm going to ask, are you guys going to add gift card redemptions down the line? Just to see what they say. As I think it would be really cool to see a option for lower priced redemptions starting from around 10, or actually 1,000 free sweeps tokens, which has the same value as about 10 SC or $10. I know at competing sites like Wild Vegas, they've recently raised the gift card redemption minimum to 25 sweeps coins or $25. But yeah, unfortunately, at Scrooge, you have to win the equivalent of $50 or 5,000 sweeps tokens just to get your foot in the door for a cryptocurrency prize. But yes, let's see what live chat says. I do like how you can also check the little message bubble here. It will actually pop up as if you were getting like an SMS from a friend or something like that. So I want to discuss their VIP club in a little bit more detail. Unfortunately, it's a little bit unclear how many sweeps tokens you actually have to spend on gameplay in order to move from the beginning entry level where you don't get any benefits up to bronze. Now, their VIP club functions with 3 tiers. You have bronze, you have silver, and you have gold. But again, there's no way to dictate and determine how many points or how many sweeps tokens you actually have to spend in order to get there. Now, I've already badgered their customer support about this, and they've been a little less than helpful, so I don't want to waste the time of asking them again. But you can hover your cursor over here to learn a little bit more about the VIP benefits offered here. And I would also encourage you to check out my written review on slotsfan.com, where I dive a little bit deeper into what's available. Now, it doesn't necessarily sit right with me that I'm only about 1,000 sweeps tokens away from being able to request a redemption, so I wouldn't necessarily tell my viewers to do this, but I'm going to go big or go home, and I'm going to pick Buffalo Hold'em Win Extreme. It's a game by Booming Games, and it's pretty awesome. I will take you guys through it momentarily. I'm just going to search for it, actually. And it seems like when I use the search function, it actually shows me everything related to Buffalo that the site has to offer. So I am going to click View All, and it will actually show me, here we go, right here. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Again, this game is most similar, in my opinion, to Buffalo Gold, which you can play at pretty much any real money casino. I've had fun playing it at Resorts World before. And again, it does have the same quadruple tiered bonus grid that I've encountered but never really won on in real life quite a few times. So let's see if my experience with Scrooge is any different. I'm going to click play, and let's see what happens.
Hold and win extreme.
All right. So this is where that issue with the difference between sweeps coins and sweeps tokens comes in. As I mentioned before, due to the limitations of some software providers, it will display as SC right here, when in reality, I'm not betting anywhere near $200 per spin. In reality, I'm betting closer to $2 per spin. Now, this is a design flaw that I would love to see Scrooge fix, especially as this could be really concerning in case you weren't aware of that discrepancy. So again, this is going to be 200 sweeps tokens per spin, which is the equivalent of about 2 SC per spin. It even shouts like the real money casino game does. That's all right. I like that. Let's see what happens. Now, I am interested to see just how much I can spin. This is a high volatility game, and you can win up to 10,000 times your stake if you get lucky enough. Now, the grand is only 1,000 times your stake, but if you trigger that bonus, that quadruple bonus, you could win that much. So I'm going to bet the equivalent of about $5 a spin, and we're either going to go big or go home, guys. Now, I need 6 coins in order to unlock that hold and win extreme bonus round I've been talking about. I've been getting close. I've been getting like 4 or 5 coins, but I haven't gotten the 6 yet. Slots like these do love to tease you, so definitely it is worth staying the course. But it seems like my balance is disappearing a little bit more quickly than I'd like, so I'm going to half the bets. All right, and it looks like we have ourselves a feature. That was unexpected, but welcome, as I only had about the equivalent of 10 sweeps coins left. All right, we've hit ourselves a bonus. All right. This is exciting. I actually have never hit this bonus before, so there's a first time for everything, and I'm glad it's happening right here at Scrooge. Looks like I've unlocked that second grid. All right, I'm here on the board. Ooh. Crossing my fingers here. Not expecting a massive win, but I just won, holy crap. Did I win the equivalent of $82 on this bonus? Okay, yeah. Looks like I have more than enough to request a crypto redemption at least. Wow, did not expect this. That's probably the biggest win I've ever hit, and I did hit it on a $2.50 equivalent spin. Wow. I'm definitely going to end it here, as you don't see wins like that every day. Wow. Now I have 99,283 sweeps coins, excuse me, which translates to about $92.83 in redemption value. So I'm going to go over here to my redemption center, and it looks like I have a way to get USDT sent to my wallet. Now, because I am redeeming a crypto prize, I'm not going to enter my address information here, as I feel it's a little bit personal, but in order to redeem a prize, what you'd have to do is copy your receiving address from your personal crypto wallet, paste it right here, and enter the amount you would like to withdraw, and that should be sent to your crypto wallet in about 24 hours. Again, guys, I'm really happy that I was able to win this much, and as you can see, the USD value right here is $92.83. Again, if I won another $8, I would have been able to convert that to a PayPal prize, but I don't want to push my luck, especially after I was just down to the equivalent of about $10. So yeah, wow, that's the most I've ever won on Scrooge. That's for sure. Now, I do want to just dive into whether or not Scrooge Casino is a legit casino before I cap off this review. Now, it's one thing to win, and it's another thing to actually get the prizes that you're owed. I will say that Scrooge wouldn't be able to work with PayPal if they weren't a legitimate casino, and they also wouldn't have a lot of popular games from B Gaming, including some of the ones I've tried, like Alien Fruits 15,000 and Snoop Dogg Dollars. Reputable software providers, as a general rule of thumb, don't work with crappy casinos, and Scrooge is no exception. And again, I want to reiterate that Scrooge opened in late 2023. It's taken them just shy of about 2 years to begin building an orphanage in Indiana, which is perhaps one of the most unique and generous ways I've seen a platform give back to the community in this way. Again, I can't think of any other sweepstakes casinos that have dedicated their time, energy, and proceeds to a cause that's this good. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I would highly encourage you to read my written review of Scrooge Casino on slotsfan.com, and that will give you a little bit more information about some of the upcoming bonuses and promotions that you'll be able to enjoy. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys had as much fun as I did.